I was just
I
showing you off air, like pictures of derby costumes and derby outfits and stuff like that with Easter coming up.
That's right. That's right. Those are some lovely costumes that you were just showing
Yeah.
me.
Yeah. Earlier today, we were talking about like the worst date that you've ever been on. You know what I mean?
Mhm, mhm.
And mine was definitely in college, but I remember this dude. I really liked him because he had a boat. Shocker, right? I was like, "Oh my god, on your boat." So he's like, "Well, let me take you on a date first. We get to know each other." I was like, "Perfect, classy." This muffa, he showed up. He showed up in like, I mean, the car was a piece of S. It was rusty. It was a Mercedes, so I see why he bought it because he wanted
Yeah.
like to flex. You know what I mean?
Right, right, right,
And
right.
it's not a flex when there's rust everywhere and the
Oh,
bumper's
no.
falling off and the
Oh,
leather
no.
had cuts in the seats. And I'm like, yeah, I don't think I want to go on your boat.
No, no. So did you see the boat before you had a desire to go on it, or you just heard he had a boat?
I saw the boat. It was like a friend of a friend or whatever, and then they kind of connected the two of us, and so we wanted to go on a date first to woo me. Obviously, I'm very
Uh-huh.
wooable.
Yeah,
Um,
you're rude. You've got to be wooed.
I need to.
Woo-hoo.
I do exactly. Woo. I'm a woo girl, and then yeah. So then he pulled up in that, and I was like, yeah, I don't think that this is gonna work. His car's
No,
falling apart.
no.
It
So
says
did
a
you ever
lot.
make it
I
on the
don't.
boat?
Yeah, I definitely. I went out on a date. I was like, I'm getting the boat right out of this, goddamn it.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. That wasn't
And
like a
how was
terrible date. It was like a bad first impression.
so what it sounds like is he put all his money into his boat and not his car or his
Right. And I
like
get that if he's a boat guy, but also I was like, I don't like that. So
yeah. Was there anything else terrible about the date or just the crappy car? Which
the
is
date was all right. The date was okay. It just wasn't we went out on his boat and like that was pretty much it. But I've had a lot of like bad first dates, I would say. What about you? Have you ever been on a bad
so
first date?
I had a date one time. This friend of mine wanted today's my anniversary, by the way, so it's a good time to be talking about
Happy
me.
anniversary. Let's talk about other men.
Yeah, exactly. So we went to this girlfriend of mine, Robin. Robin said, "I want to hook you up with a friend of mine. He is a doctor, and
Oh,
he's a plastic
yeah.
surgeon, right?" And
Ooh,
she was like
her.
selling him like he's just a really, really, really nice, great guy. He's fun to talk to. So she kind of like she went with us. So we went for drinks with her, the three of us, had a good time.
Yeah.
She's like really vivacious. She made it easy. We could have had fun with anyone, but he was a really nice guy. She left the dinner and then we stayed, or she left the bar and we stayed and had dinner. And we had great conversation. And you know me, I love medical stuff. So we talked all about medical things and, it was just good conversation, good content that I enjoyed.
Yeah.
I wasn't necessarily to any stage where, I mean, sometimes I guess you meet someone and you're immediately attracted. I wasn't,
Drawn to them.
wasn't that he was a bad looking guy or anything like that. I just hadn't gotten to that stage yet or level to analyze. But then one of the things he told me at dinner, he was like, I started telling him I had eczema and he goes, no, you don't. No, you don't. It's all in your head. So this is like an esteemed
Okay.
plastic surgeon, like medical board certified, who's cutting into people, and is like, but gonna all of a sudden pull the what would you call it? What kind of medicine would you call that? I don't know, crackpot medicine out
Holistic.
of this. Right. Like, but goofy, like your eczema is in your head. I mean, tell that to the entire dermatology board of America that's been studying
Right.
eczema for forever. Like,
Also, I
so
can see it. Also, it's right
yeah.
there. So
Well, no, he was actually saying that in my thoughts manifested it. And I'm a real strong believer in what you believe and focus on comes to be. So I get it, but it just was the person delivering the message. It was kind of funny. And then we went to my car and he asked to look in my trunk. Yeah. How weird is
for
that?
what?
For a first
For
date
for
or for just in general, how weird is it? Like, I just want to see what your trunk looks like. I just want to see what your trunk looks like. I just need to see the inside
does
of
he
it.
want to see if it's messy or anything like that?
Yeah. And I
Like
was like, okay, well, guess what? There are dead bodies in there. So have at it. Have at it.
good.
So
You caught
that
me. You
weirdness,
caught
that
me.
was a lie. Yeah, that was the last time we hung out. He's probably telling people the same story and describing, and then I looked in her trunk. Like another. I mean,
Yeah.
my trunk was probably messy. I mean, yeah, it was messy. What? So what? But
I don't like these.
I
I don't like that they're trying to like investigate everything. I'm not a big
right,
fan of that.
right, yeah. So
I'm
that was
not. I
crazy.
don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah. Another one that happened here in Tampa. What was that nightclub? Remember, there was a club off of Ulmerton a while
Oh yeah.
ago.
It
What
was a
was it?
2-story. It was multiple
Yes.
stories. Oh
Oh, that
God,
was
that
a
was a
fun
good one.
place.
And it was Steve
I
Dumeg, the late
know.
great Steve Dumeg was the part owner in it, right?
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
That was great. I met a
No, I
guy
want to
there.
say, oh,
What
what the
was
heck
it?
was that?
I know.
I knew a
Here.
couple people who were involved in that. It was fun. Are you gonna look it up?
It. Yeah.
It's gonna drive me crazy. I want to
Nightclub
say like
off
it's
of
like two
Ulmerton.
syllables. Like it's not Skippers or da da da. Stormins. Stormins? No, Stormins was
No,
a different one.
the venue.
The venue. There
The
you go.
venue.
The
Okay. Do you
venue. That
know
was
that
fun. They
it
had a
was
good
so much fun?
sushi restaurant too there.
It was upstairs. And also, okay, so I would host a night there
Did you get?
like a happy hour once a week. And it was
Oh,
great because I
fun.
had a free bar tab and food and like
Yeah.
all this stuff. And I'd bring out my
Yeah.
girlfriends. We always had so much fun out there.
How
And
about
there's
Super
always
Bowl
this,
week? Were you there
yes,
Super Bowl week? The first years
absolutely.
ago?
Yes,
Remember how much fun
yes.
that was?
So much fun. Yeah, it was great because, oh God, Diddy hosted his party there
Yeah.
and a bunch
I
of
went to that
other,
party.
yes, yeah, crazy, right?
I
It's
mean, it
crazy to
wasn't,
see
I
that
don't even
happen.
recall him being there. I don't recall him being there. I'm sure but that wasn't, it was just like themed.
You went to a Diddy party, but not that type of Diddy party.
Yeah,
Okay.
exactly. Now that I'm saying these words out loud, now this is documented. I'm like, oh my God, I've been pointing the finger at everyone. I just realized the venue hosted a Diddy party. That's right.
Yeah, they definitely did. Okay, so I met this guy there every single happy hour. So we worked across the street at like those big finance buildings, right? So anything finance, and I'm talking to a guy, I'm like, all right, this is making a little bit of sense.
Looking
He
for a
obviously
man
makes
in
some money.
finance. Blue eyes. Yeah.
Exactly. Yes, 100%. And so he was cute. He wasn't exactly my type, but I was like, oh, I'll give him a chance. And so we talked like every single time I host happy hour for like months, right? He would always come up to me. I'm like, am I ugly? Why hasn't this man asked me out or anything? And finally he
No, you're
did.
not.
I think he'd be intimidating. I'm walking around with a
Yeah.
microphone.
Yeah.
It's not
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
I'm a lot, but a lot comes with what we do for a living, basically.
Yes, exactly. Of course. And
Prepare
you are a lot.
yourself. Yeah.
And you are.
Right. And so anyway, he asked me, he just gave me the address. And I was like, okay. And so I met him there instead of him picking me up for the first time. And he took me to a bowling alley, and I didn't like that.
No.
Uh, okay, let me also say this. I don't like bowling. I'm good for a game, max two. I get very bored with bowling. I will fall in love with any other sport or whatever, but something about bowling, especially if we're not drinking or anything like that, I don't find it fun. I
You
find it
know
very
what?
repetitive.
Yeah, it is. Clink
Yeah,
of the
there you
bowling
go.
balls. Yeah.
This
You
is
know what's funny? Now that
fabulous.
you mentioned that, I can think of at least post high school
Yeah,
bowling dates, like first dates that I went on
right.
with guys.
Yeah.
So I think that is the bowling alley must make maybe the pin and the bowling balls and stuff, all the phallic symbols in there.
Yeah. Kind of like the Blue Origin. Did you see that shuttle go up? And
Yeah.
I'm like, there's what, 5 or 6 women in it, and it looks like a wiener.
Yeah.
Why are they riding a wiener? Like, okay. It's an all-female crew. Ride a wiener. Here we go. It's so weird. I was like, we could have come up with any other shape that didn't look exactly like that. I mean,
it's true. Oh my God. It does. It does.
it
How amazing was that
100%
it landed right in the exact same spot that it took up?
Yeah.
Like it just
Yeah.
went up and went down.
Yeah, 100%. Also, one of the most ridiculous things, like Katy Perry and Gayle King, like kissing the ground afterwards.
Mhm.
And now they're getting some backlash because it's a little tone deaf because I don't know, people are struggling paying their bills and going to the grocery store. And they're like, yeah, just spend $200,000 for us to go up into space for 11 minutes. And they're like, we don't understand why you guys don't love that and don't care. Because that's a rich person roller coaster. I don't know.
You know what's funny? I don't know why Doug got really sucked into it. And he was like,
Yeah.
he made all of us watch. My husband was like,
I watched it.
made
Yeah.
me and the girls watch it. So
Yep.
we, watch it. And it was cool. Like, especially there's some cool moments. But he told the girls, he goes, let's tell them, let's emphasize this. And he goes, see what they think. We kept telling them, especially my older one, hey, you do realize this is all women on this crew. What do you think of that? And he said it, and I said it prior too. They don't even care. Like, why wouldn't it be a rocket
Well,
full of women? Like, okay, what's your point? Like,
right.
they don't.
They don't see that. They're not old enough to understand
But
that
we
there's
did.
a huge separation. Yes.
I saw it when I was their age, though. Didn't you?
Mm-hmm.
Didn't you feel a difference between, like,
Yeah, because there
when
wasn't as many women or people of color represented. So when I did see it
right?
when I was a little older, I was like, oh, okay, that's cool. But normally it had to be pointed out to me because I was young, you know.
Yeah, yeah.
But yeah, and they were calling themselves astronauts also. And as somebody that just came from Kennedy Space Center and actually got to meet
We
an
talked about
astronaut while
that.
I was
Yeah,
up there, I was like, you going up there for 11 minutes does not make you an astronaut.
yeah.
It really doesn't. And so I just had so much fun because I did watch the whole thing. I love anything space. NASA, sign
Mhm.
me up. SpaceX, I'm obsessed with it. Movies, I love all that. Like anything space related because I'm a
Okay.
nerd.
See, I want to go down into the ocean.
So
So
if you
you
had a
want to go?
choice, you would rather go deep down in the ocean instead of in
Yeah.
space? Oh, I'm so opposite.
As long as it was, I mean, on the heels of what's happened as of late with the Titanic submersible thing.
Yeah.
I don't want to get on a submersible, but I like ocean exploration.
Did
Yeah.
you see
Like
the new
learning.
images of the Titanic that came out 2 days ago?
Mm-hmm.
Cool,
Mm-hmm.
huh? I
Cool.
like that.
So
The
cool.
images are
Yes.
awesome. Yeah.
Yes.
I'm good with the ocean.
Yeah.
I'm good.
You just want to explore. You're an explorer.
I do.
You know,
I like that stuff.
and then okay, so we've got exploring the space, we've got exploring the ocean, and then exploring our minds.
Yes.
So I want to share something with you because outside of our show, we were having a discussion about one of our mutual friends
Mm-hmm.
who is having, she's having some trouble with depression and anxiety.
Right.
And I wanted to share this with you. I've never told you about this before. Have you heard of methylation testing?
No, what is that?
Okay.
Methylation testing.
It tests the way your DNA, methylation of your DNA. All
Okay.
right.
It doesn't
And
entail us taking meth.
no, meth inhalation. No, it doesn't mean we're cooking meth and out in Nevada or wherever Walter White did, and we're inhaling all the fumes as we cook at home.
Okay.
Methyl inhalation. No.
Gotcha.
So methylation of your DNA.
Okay.
And so I'm going to show you this little chart here. This is mine. I got these methylation tests done. It's not showing up very well. Oh, there it is. There it is. See that?
Okay.
See that?
Yeah.
COMT?
Yes. Yeah.
That's a bad thing. That's a bad thing. But
Okay.
like 30% of us have that.
Hmm.
And what this means is it's methylation of DNA, neurotransmitters, xenobiotics, phytochemicals. Do I know what I just said? No, I don't. But let me further explain. I start reading about people who have this. This means, and I have a red one here because I got a copy from my mom and a copy from my dad. So I have the methylation defect. I have a homozygous methylation defect. I got a negative gene from both of my parents.
Interesting.
And this COMT gene, when you see people who have the condition that I do, like 30% of the population, more likely to be bipolar, depressed, anxiety,
Really?
but schizophrenia, all of that stuff, people who have the COMT gene are more likely to have that. So
how do you determine if you have that gene?
You take a test.
Okay.
Mine was like a $200 blood test. It's not cheap.
Okay, so it's not like a 23andMe test, right? Where they're going to sell my stuff?
No. And this is what it is. No. And this is what it is. It's bro science. Have you heard about that? Do you know who Gary Brecka is, right?
Yes.
Okay. It's Gary Brecka stuff. He made it popular, but ironically, I got this testing done before I ever heard him talk about it.
Oh, cool.
So the whole thing is that we have this DNA methylation, in this case, a defect. And there are supplements that you can take to correct it. What it
Okay.
is your body is not able to properly process certain foods, certain nutrients, certain vitamins in the way that it needs to then send the proper messages to your brain, serotonin, dopamine, all those kinds of things.
Yes.
For COMT, the COMT genes, there are other methylation things. You can see this whole little chart. I'm going to hold it up again. So I had 5 tested. All right, all 5
Wow.
of these, and the green means good, the yellow means bad, right? Or the
Okay.
yellow means you got a good one from one parent, a bad one from the other.
Okay.
So one's called the NTRR gene. Some affect your heart, some affect your your iron in your body, like all kinds of different stuff. And one of them affects, if you take, folate, the B vitamin that gives you energy, you can't process folate. I have another one that makes me unable to process folate. So I have to have special vitamins made that have the folate that my body can absorb.
To even you out, basically?
Okay. So the COMT, I've never adjusted. I literally just found this out like 3 months ago.
Oh,
okay,
wow.
about myself. And if you go to the Gary Brecka site, and I'll send you there, he has all these supplements and all these things you can do to balance that COMT gene. But ultimately, this is going to blow your mind for our friend. You are not supposed to have catechins. I think I'm saying that properly. And I think quercetin is maybe one of the things we're not supposed to have. Anyhow, it's in green tea, coffee, black tea, red wine, all the things I love.
Right.
All the things I love.
Okay.
So high doses of these bioactive foods, such as tea catechins, I don't know. You have to change your intake of these foods because they're going to make you crazy. And I've always been the kind of person who gets a little crazy if I have too much caffeine, if I have too much.
You know what? We've definitely talked about this, but I used to see you in the hallway. You'd be like either making tea or like off your tea.
Yeah.
And I'd be like, why are we not just having a cup of coffee? And you're like, no, I
gotta reel it back in.
Right. And then you would stop drinking tea and then you'd go back on it. And for me, I'm just like, I'm riding this horse until we like have some caffeine in the morning. But it's interesting because it does affect everybody totally differently, whether it's caffeine or, vitamins or anything else.
So the bottom line is, this friend of ours, she needs to get her methylation test done. My guess is she probably has the COMT gene, the bad gene, like I do. And then you have to look into what you need to do to change nutritionally, add to your supplements to balance out your brain chemistry. So I, like I said, I just figured this out within the last I said 3 months. It's probably been 12 months, whatever. But the point is, I was not upset when I found this out. I was like, oh my God, I've made it this far in my life. And I'm not bipolar, I'm not schizophrenic. That's what I was telling you. I'm like right up there. I'm right up there. I'm like one bad decision of being all of these stuff.
Have you ever, well, that's cool that you shared that, because I think a lot of people struggle with certain stuff and they just don't know what the answer is, or they're still looking for an answer. And not that they need to be labeled, but they're searching for something and they just don't necessarily know what direction to go in. So I think that's extremely helpful for anybody who's watching this and listening to go get tested if you're interested. And listen, if it can help your whole life out, it's about $200. And you can find out a lot about what's going on inside your body. Have you ever dated somebody that was like bipolar, or?
I knew someone who turned into that after was diagnosed with that after we were together. We didn't know when we were together.
Did you go to yourself like, that makes sense? Did you
I think I drove into it. Could have been that.
Well, I haven't driven anybody crazy before. Absolutely, I have. Listen, I was on TikTok earlier, and thank you so much for that breakdown, by the way. I appreciate it. But
I hope I did a good job. Listen, go out there and look at Gary Brecka's videos. He's much more informed about it. But just tie these together. Methylation, if you have the COMT gene, do some research on it and find out nutritionally, supplements and foods, what will help you.
Yeah, that's awesome. I'm actually going to look into that for me. Okay, cool. I really want you to see this. And this video, I started laughing. Okay, it's 23 seconds. It's not long, but I started laughing my ass off, and I was like, I got to show Roxanne this. So here you go. I'll just show it. I'll start at 23 seconds and then we'll talk
I
about it.
think why so many girls end up going with like the medium ugly man is not because we don't like hot men. It's because the hot men are weird. The hot men are weird or corny. It's so rare to find a hot man that's normal and fun and cool and all these things. The hot men are weird. They're always weird.
I think
To this, in your opinion, because I got my own opinion about this.
okay. I think the like really hot men, what I personally think is, and I'm talking like stratospherically hot or whatever.
Yeah.
I'm just like, okay, yeah, a lot of that is nature. You're gifted with that, and then sometimes that causes them to be incredibly narcissistic.
Mm-hmm.
And then sometimes you're like, okay, you worked to look that fancy and that nice and all that, and that's exhausting to me. Like when they're super super hot, I'm like, oh God, you care more about how you look, you care more about that's a really mean thing to say, because I'm sure there are a lot of really hot guys out there who are not like that, and I'm sorry.
But are there? Where are you?
I wouldn't say weird. She said weird. I don't think weird as much as like.
So, okay. I think that she has a point when it comes to some guys. Of course, not all guys are like this. But yeah, so I have definitely dated very good-looking guys. And I was totally tricked. I was like blindsided by their beauty, by how handsome they were, and other aspects that they provided. And then all of a sudden, it hits me when we have to go to a social event or a party or something like that, that they have no personality.
Oh, yes.
They're weird. They act weird, or they're socially awkward. And with what we do for a living, that doesn't work with me at all. Like, you don't have to talk to everybody or blend in necessarily, but you can't just be the weird guy in the room.
Right.
You can't be the weird hot guy that I brought to a party. Like, oh, he's what's wrong with him? Yeah. That's not going to fly with me. And I've dated at least 2 guys like this. And I got Roxanne. They're just so pretty. I was just like, well, this happened to me. Okay.
Do you think, you know how sometimes there'll be like a TikTok video and it'll be some girl complaining, I'm so hot, I can't get a date. I'm so beautiful. Yeah. It's a curse. It's a curse. People don't respect me at work or whatever it is, right?
It's so terrible.
Do you think that that guys, like really hot guys, have that same thing too? Do you think they're not as embraced by like the more rugged, just regular?
No.
I don't know.
No, I think that they're good. I think they always have women throwing themselves at them, all different types of women. It could be a 2, it could be an 8, it could be a 10. I think that that's going to be nonstop. I think that's okay. You might hate me for saying this, but I think that some of those beautiful women might actually have a point. Like, okay, yes, there will be guys chasing them, but to find a good quality one, just like the hot guys, that's going to be really hard and difficult to deal with. And there are some guys that are extremely intimidated by that. I'll tell you this much. One of my exes that I was just talking about here, who I'm not going to mention his name. It was at the age when we were dating, my age at that time, sometimes I was insecure. He was 6'8", and he was just, just drew the attention away from anybody else in the room, and every girl I could see wanted him. And so it was a lot to deal with, I would say. And at that point, I think that I was a little bit more insecure of a person than I am now. Now I'm like ready to go. I'm very secure with myself, but also I put myself in the position. It's not his fault. He's gorgeous, but that's also, you have to be prepared to date somebody. Yeah. It's not just good looking. He could be famous, or he could be a billionaire. That comes with not a certain amount of baggage, I would say.
Yeah. It's I think women a lot of times are expected to be the total package. And I think, a guy can not be the hottest guy ever, but he's really wealthy and successful. So all the women flock to him, or
that's what I like. Give me medium, ugly, and rich, and I'm good to go. I'll be the hot one in the relationship. At least in my eyes.
You're the hot one in every relationship. Don't you worry. Don't you
So are
worry.
you. But you understand where I'm coming from? Like,
Yeah.
would you rather date a medium, ugly, a medium, is that ugly, medium, good looking person than a 10? Because I feel like I'm going to
Yeah.
get a better personality down here. These people have
Hey,
to actually try to have conversations. These people don't have to try at all.
Listen, your hubby's a cutie. Today's my anniversary. We have to, our husbands are going to expect that. They're like, what are you talking about? You have a pocket. You're both with 10s. What are you talking about?
Well, yeah, no, we are the 10s in the relationship. You are correct about that. So I agree. No, our partners are perfect for us, and they are very handsome.
Yes.
I'm very attracted to my
Yes.
husband. You are very attracted to your husband.
Yes,
You have good
absolutely.
looking partners.
Absolutely.
If I was single and I was dating, maybe I would have like a little bit of fun here and there. But if I was trying to find somebody to be in a relationship with, I would not want to be with a 10. I don't want to be with a 10. That just right there tells me, like, you don't have a personality.
Because yes, they do not have to work hard at anything else.
Mm-hmm.
They don't have to work hard at being funny. They don't have to work hard at them, having charisma. They can just be. Yeah.
They have no riz. And honestly, most of them are really boring in the bedroom. So they just lay there. Like,
just look at me.
Hello.
Isn't this enough for you?
Okay, let's talk about your anniversary. What are you doing for your anniversary? We'll get off the topic of dating.
Oh, yeah. So, okay. I told Doug today, I said, we will, look, I'm doing like an ASMR voice now, right? It's like an ASMR video. I told Doug, I go, let's not celebrate today. Evelyn has a performance she has to do. And we are going to go celebrate tomorrow with the kids. I mean, we got married with the kids, so we'll bring them along. And we're going to go to Clue, the mystery tour at the Stratus Center in downtown Tampa. It's all along the Riverwalk. And so we're going to like solve the Clue mystery. It's interactive. It's like an interactive performance. You get to become the characters, solve the mystery. It's like escape room meets a performance all along the Riverwalk, right?
Yeah, is it like a murder mystery almost?
That's
cool.
Yeah,
that's really cool.
Yeah, so
I love that you love involving your children and all that stuff. I do. I genuinely love it.
We probably do, as I've told you, we probably do need to do more stuff, just the two of us. We do a good job a couple times a year taking vacations, just the two of us, and it's amazing. Yeah. But most of the time we're hunkered down with the kiddos.
Yeah, I had a flashback.
Unless it's a work thing.
No, I totally get that. You know what? Because so this Easter is this weekend. And Friday, because I'm such an awesome mom, I had no idea that the kids didn't have school on Friday. I was like, wait, what? There's no school on Friday?
I know. That's
well, got to get on top of that. And then Anthony and I have the conversation like, who's going to watch the kids? And I'm like, well, this one can go to this place, but this one has no place to go. And I'm live in the morning at 6 in the morning, and you work.
Would you ever bring one of them to work?
So that's what I was about to say. I have all these wonderful flashbacks of you bringing your kids in, and you would do the cute things with the two of them and the tablets. You play games and all that stuff. Of course, I love your kids. And I don't know, does this make me a bad person? I don't know if I can mentally handle that. Maybe I'm sure I can. Well, how come I don't want to do that? There's something wrong with me.
No, it's just, why? Because I will tell you the problem with that is you couldn't, we do our shows. They were okay during the show, but then all the stuff you have to do after, that's when it turns into a disaster. And I would hit that, you come down after your show, you still have stuff to do. Meetings and
shows,
editing, and all kinds of other shows. Yeah. Yeah. And you have to power through those shows. There's no stopping. There's no nothing. And the after the show stuff. And by then I was miserable with them. By then I was like, why did I do this? But they're good during the show. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
And they get in there and then have Anthony pick them up and let you get your
maybe that would be a good idea. Yeah. So I was trying to think it because we also do like that live performance thing. And I was like, how am I going to do all this stuff?
Shoot, I forgot about that. Maybe not on a live performance day because that's just so much. Yeah. Karaoke. but maybe you should do
on Monday
it on another day. Yeah, like maybe during the summer sometime, just a random day.
That's a good idea.
Because you know why?
And then we can go to the beach.
Yes, there you go. Because I'll come meet you. I feel like our kids those will be core memories. Because when I was a kid, it's very distinct in my mind going to work with my mom, and there's like a special treat involved. Like usually we go to McDonald's and get a Happy Meal or get a McDonald's breakfast. And then that's what I try to do for my kids. I brought them in. I had little sleeping bags. I got them McDonald's breakfast.
I remember.
And so I think that'll stick with them. Like they'll be like, oh, I remember mom used to take us to work with her, and this is what we did. Yeah.
I love this. This is such a great thing we fell into right now. I specifically remember the days my dad used to take me into the bank. And I always had so much fun just meeting his coworkers, and his coworkers were always so sweet. And they would always take me to the vending machine, and I'd get to pick out the foods that I wanted, and I get to have Coke, and I never had Coke. And so, okay, I like this. I want to create those core memories.
And the core memories. And then I think too, like the question that people always ask us when they're always like, hey, so do you miss getting up in the morning with the kids? Do you miss this? Do you miss that? The answer is yes, we do. But I think the ultimate thing is we're so happy that our children see us doing something that we love.
Yes.
That counterbalances it. And we make do. And so this is another way to take that a step further. They know you do what you love. They can listen to mommy in the car. They know, mommy's doing appearances. You're doing this, you're doing that. And now to have that additional backstory information of what it looks like while you're at work, I think they would love it. Yes.
Also, I was at the gym, I don't even know, Monday and Tuesday. And I was like, there's Roxanne. Because I always go when you're on TV. And I wanted to take a picture of it. And I was like, let me not. I was like, I will next time. Because I snuck away for a couple minutes so I could go. And I didn't want to tell myself that I went to the gym. But next time I will. But yeah, you looked great. You're such a natural at that.
I have good days and bad days, I mean, I always try to be consistent. But someday you'll be like, this is my biggest thing. Drives me bananas. Every day. What do you work hardest on, Roxanne? You work hard on your content. You work hard on the people doing the prep. That kind of comes naturally. I mean, I do.
Sure.
But here's the hardest thing about my job. All right, everything looks okay. My hair looks okay.
It looks good.
And then you turn to talk to your guests, and you'll have one piece like this.
Yes, I totally know what you're talking about. It's like hi.
I don't know. I can't even replicate it right now. But I turn to talk to them, and it looks different. And you're like, yes. Could no one have told me that?
Yeah. I told you, this is what I do. I push my hair forward. Don't be horrified. And then it's like,
yeah.
No, it's not cute behind me, but in front, it's gorgeous.
Yes, it's all pushed forward right now. Yes,
I know. Yeah, you do have to go to the side. I wonder if there's like different angles, like if you could have it like a different angle positioning, so you don't have to see so much the back of your head.
I'm getting better at it. Two things. Thing number one is I cheat the way I look at them. So then when you have a guest, I'm like, don't think I'm giving you side eye, but I just don't go as hard. I just don't go as hard profile. So there's a bump or a cowlick. I have a cowlick back there. That makes it worse. And then I just and then I just aggressively look in the mirror and try to get all the angles and stuff. So it's
at least you don't have a cowlick right here. I have a cowlick in the back and one right here. I swear to God, this thing.
That's cute. That gives you a little bounce. It gives you a little bounce.
It's like a natural, television anchor,
woo. Yeah, you have that.
It's very annoying. It's so annoying. Every day I try to flatten it down because if I don't, it will literally go. No, but Roxanne, it'll go like this.
Oh gosh, I like it. It gives you a little bump. Yeah.
Can I just tell you that I love you and I love that we get to do this.
I love you too. It's so fun. It's so relaxing. You just feel better after And you know what's even more fun? People may not realize this, but it's like we're having a long conversation in the car, and then we just go. All right, I'll tell you the rest on air. Goodbye.
Yeah. Let's pick this up. This is good. What we're doing right now, let's go ahead and record it to share with everybody. Yeah, and I liked your breakdown of getting your blood checked and all that, because although we're silly and we tell stories about dating and guys and all that.
Utility right here.
It's just, it's wonderful that we can, I never even thought about, of course, getting your blood checked, but that specific blood check.
Because nobody tells you about that.
Right, exactly. So that's so informative in the way you broke it down. So honestly, thank you. I think that I'm definitely going to look into that and do that.
I'm not a doctor. I just play one on TV. Yes.